It's a ghetto. Also, the most Euros ghetto from Peru.
Right. So the owner just said, like, here's a building, you can turn it into a museum, something like that, right?
Yes, 2 floors. 2 floors full of poo of this shit. Full, you know? So we started cleaning all this shit, moved the beers for other places, you know, like, you know?
Okay.
All the techniques, cause we try in the good way with some sounds and stuff like that, but we need the guns.
While the world is burning, got to make amends. Walk on the sunny side with a positive lens. Talks about passion between the women and the men. Chris Dyer and his creative friends. Darling, ooh, ooh, ooh.
Hi, welcome back to Chris Dyer's Creative Friends, the super awesome podcast interview show on YouTube where me, your artist friend Chris Dyer, interviews his super awesome artist friends. These days I'm in Lima, Peru, and I wanted to interview an old friend of mine who's an amazing artist of different kinds. I'd say mostly he's a street artist, muralist, but he also does so many other expressions that we'll explore in this fantastic conversation. His name is Joan Entes, known in the streets.
Yes,
What's up,
sir.
brother? How you
up,
doing? Thank you so much.
Fine.
Thank you so much for doing this interview with me, and thank you so much for doing it in English.
No problem, bro. I got it some good English, but not the well, you know. So
Right.
it's on the way.
Yeah. Well, as long as people understand what you're trying to say, I think it will be great.
Sure.
So we were today at the beginning. We're in Barranco, and now we're in Miraflores. Barranco's where your studio used to be last year when I visited you, and you just moved to Miraflores. This is your brand new studio, right?
Yes.
What's your how you like Barranco versus Miraflores, for example, as Lima neighborhoods go?
It's completely different because I moved in my studio in pandemic when the pandemic started. So when I back to New York to Lima to my last exhibition in Super Chief Gallery, I say, okay, I need return to Miraflores because it's more closer to my house. It's a few blocks to my house, but the difference complete is I feel completely alone here, you know, like no more artists closer or restaurants or things like that when I cross with another artist.
Because Barranco is like a big scenester
Yes.
scene where there's
Yes.
lots of artists. And
It's like the Bohemia, typical from Peru, actually,
Right.
is Barranco.
Yeah.
So all the artists, writers, whatever kind of arts, also actors and whatever, live in Barranco and got studios there. So this one point, because I need stay alone for focusing my work, not cross with anybody.
It's too distracting.
Yes.
Right. As much as you like seeing other artists,
Oh shit.
as much as
Break.
Yeah, we always break something in this show, I think. But as much as you like seeing other artists and musicians, sometimes it distracts you too much from focusing on your work. So Miraflores, what? But Miraflores is very cool too. There's still a lot of
Yes.
things happening here. No?
But now we are far of this part of the public movement there, right? It's like Parque Kennedy is really far. So now we are chilling, we are really underground mode and clean scene there. you know?
Right. I like this studio that kind of feels a little bit like your gallery, Phil Gallery, that I guess didn't make it past the pandemic.
Yes.
But you'll have some people over here and have some shows, I guess.
I think so. This is the reason because I prepared this space to this kind of new exhibition for the future. But now we are chilling, working in new exhibition for this year. But we are on the way thinking about propose you and other friends come to here and do exhibition here. In the moment is the right thing for invite people to here, coming, because the pandemic is really weird for the old people. Also, the collectors are old people.
Right.
you know.
So the people who want to buy your art probably can't come to public areas and
Yes,
events yet.
these people try to stay only one or two person more, no more people. Like this is the way for this kind of person.
Right.
So I think so is a good space. Also, Miraflores is the center of these kind of things. So now in the pandemic, too many places so far closed for no more budgets. But I got a space. I got lucky about the work and many things like that.
Nice, man. Well, congrats. So I usually start my shows by asking my guests, who are always like my friends, if they remember how we met.
Yo, it's too many it's too many years ago, right?
From what I remember, the first time the thing is, like, I think we met before I realized who you were. I think
Yeah.
you came to an art show of mine in San Isidro
Yes,
in
sir.
2006.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's too many years ago, bro.
Yeah, 2006. That's,
Yo.
long time ago. And I think you came out in a magazine as one of the attendees of my show. And
Yes.
I think later on, I was like, oh, Entes went to my show in 2006. I didn't realize. Later on, I saw your art, and I remember being in Miami Art Basel 2011, and I was going to my wall, and all of a sudden, like, Entes and Pésimo were painting a big mural. I was like, oh, it's Entes and Pésimo, holy shit, stop the taxi. And I went down, it's like, hey guys, I'm
Yes,
Peruvian.
I remember exactly these two times. But I remember the relation is more stronger about that 2010, because the internet is more fluid, and I think so. It's not the Instagram, Facebook, something like that, and we are really connected. Also, your brother returned to do something here. I put in contact with him. We do a wall, actually. It's a really interesting time. Also, 2006, the curator of your exhibition is Villacorta, right?
Right, yes.
Yes. So the gallery is Puntum.
Yes.
Yes. So I remember exactly when this happened. We go with Giuseppe De Bernardi. I go with Giuseppe De Bernardi because I really, in this time I'm started to study art, and I really connected with this kind of artists. So this artist actually paint eyes in the walls.
Okay.
Like JR, but in 2004, something like that, really old. And he's my friend, and we do like, yo, this guy, let's go. I say, yo. So in this point, we know you.
Nice. Well, thanks for coming to my exhibition back then. That was awesome. Always great to show in Peru, even though I don't sell anything. People just don't have lots of money for buying. And you were just saying that you know my brother more on the graffiti side, right?
Yes, sir.
Did you start doing graffiti before you started
Yes.
doing murals? How long did you do graffiti lettering before you started doing characters or what people consider street art?
I'm starting doing characters, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, straight, because when I started, I know like a little part of graffiti, but I really interested in the character side because I like drawing, But when I'm starting, my first contact with the spray can is like when I do things for my team from soccer from Peru, is Universitario de Deportes.
Y dale, carajo.
Y dale, carajo. So when I started these kind of things, I know people from Secuaces, I know people from La Zona. I started playing with that, and I go with these people to other places, you know.
So you were doing street gang tags at the beginning?
Yes, for
like
sure.
me, that's how I started too with
Yes.
spray paint.
Yes, this is the way actually.
Right.
So when I got the 1 year there, I say I can draw in something, you know, with the spray can. I try to do, and it's good, not too bad, you know. I say, perfect. So I'm trying more, but in this moment I know rap music and hip hop movement. So in some cassettes, I got like Lords of Brooklyn cassettes, got graffitis there, but in little parts got characters. I'm really interested in that. When I'm starting in '98, the people of graffiti here is really interested in pieces.
In lettering.
Yeah, learning. So in this part, I say, okay, I turn my word to that. I'm started to piece and character. So
And Entes was your lettering part.
yes, no beer, like also, what is the real pronunciation?
Beer?
Beer.
Like
Yes.
Beer? Como
Yes.
cerveza?
No. Beer.
Como...
Bear.
like a oso.
Uh-huh.
Rawr.
Yes. Like a also.
Yeah.
So I'm starting playing with that. So I type in that and do the character. And in 2002, and I traveled to Chile for first time, and know the movement of the hip hop place there, like breakdancing, MCs, graffiti writers, DJs, all the movement. And the guys got nicknames or tags in Spanish. I say, why not? Why I'm fucking try to do like
English
USA movement, but I'm from Latin America. I say, no more that shit. I turn my brain to do Entes, and Entes started that part. So this is the little history about my tag.
Nice. And Entes means like beans, you know, so
Yes.
it's kind of like random. It's one of those strange names that, you know, we find in this world. So you had a partnership with Pésimo
Yes.
for some years.
For long time ago, like 70 years. Something.
17?
Yes.
Wow. So for 17 years, you guys were painting murals together, and
Yes.
now you've gone your own ways.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're
and-
working alone, and we stay in the point, you know.
Nice. And through that combination that you guys did, or I don't know if it was initiated by different people, but you also were working with Latido, Latinoamericano
Latino
Festival.
Yes.
So basically, you got a street art or mural festival here in Peru. When did that happen? How long did it last?
2012, we started in that. We are in Miami. Actually, in this moment, when you meet there in this place in Miami, I remember exactly 24th Street. So
Yeah. You guys got so many walls out there. You guys,
Yeah.
I've never been able to get walls that big and great. Still today.
we got many invitations of these people. You know, we meet many people, old school, like Wayne TC5, Ken 5, Kem, Kets, many persons sent to other guys, and these people real are interested in the work because it's unique, you know. Also, we got an invitation in 2007 for Wingwood Walls.
Okay.
But
Already.
that shit don't happens with cause we don't got visa.
They couldn't get in the country at the time.
Yes. Also, it's the same time of Osgimio Spain there, but we don't got the visa and we don't can fly.
Ooh, how bummed were you not being able to paint with all
this
nails
is
and with
the
walls?
opportunity. I say,
Damn.
come on.
Well,
But
you made it in eventually.
yes.
But you never painted with walls by
No.
now. No, the invitation never came back.
no, now I'm not interested in that. Also, I'm with Pésimo, we organized the Festival Latinoamericano. And when this festival started, the name is Latir Latino.
Latino.
Yes, sir. So we started because we meet many friends of Latin America there in Miami. And we say why we think we need come to USA to view the other friends. Why?
Right.
Because the people don't organize nothing like that in Latin America, you know. Only invited other famous person to come and all the countries closer and no more. And we say, okay, organize a Latino festival. Don't care about gringos or Europeans on anybody in the world. I
So
said,
it's Latino painters in
yes,
Peru.
sir. Also, the first 2 years is Latino painters, and we send the invitation to other Latino painters living in USA or other parts in the world. Also, invitate some Denmark guys to here, and this event do noise in the world, and we are considered in the Complex magazine of in the first 15 most important street artist festivals in the world.
Beautiful. So
The
it's
the only Latino festival. Crazy.
amazing. Well, there's so much talented Latino painters.
Yes.
And it's good that you guys empowered yourself by capturing walls here and getting together and uniting forces. What's some artists that painted these festivals?
Inti, Jazz, Saner, Sego, Viño, Tiño, I don't know, many. Os Montaña, Saile, Apitatan, wherever. You choose one and maybe he's come.
Yeah, totally. And you must have made like great connections with that too, and then got invited to do other festivals in other countries that started popping up, huh?
I think so. No, is the reason cause we started, you know, but happens one time, like with Os Montaña organized the same festival in Paraguay.
Paraguay.
Yes, sir. It's the first international Latino Americano.
Uh-huh.
Yes,
Cool.
and this important because he trusts in the idea, you know. And
Right.
We move into there.
He saw the structure of your festival and he replicated
Yes,
it in Paraguay.
I pushing him. I'm working with him hand to hand to the curation and contact other artists, you know. Perfect. It's really interesting.
Nice. Was it fun?
It's fun, completely.
Yeah.
I go with my wife and my 2 kids to the festival.
Oh, cool. What year was that?
2016, something like that, right? I don't remember exactly.
Okay. What other place? You've traveled all around the world, I know, doing your murals.
Yes.
What's some of the favorite places you've gone, favorite missions? You've been everywhere. Tell me a little bit about traveling the world as a Peruvian who started from nothing, from the streets, built his own style, and going out to share his heart with the whole world.
It's crazy when we paint in Austria.
Okay.
In Austria, we paint in the same thing, in the same space with Roa, Aris, and few more artists, Nachos.
Oh, those little nooks by the
Yes.
train station, right?
Yes.
I think I saw what you painted.
Yes.
Yes, they're really beautifully framed because they're very
Yes,
old
it's
school
like
ornate.
It's really crazy, and the place is close to the lake, and is right there actually, and the site is beautiful. And another good experience is go with Peter to the museum. Yo, that is
in Amsterdam.
in Amsterdam. That's good. Actually, all the situation is good. I'm go with the Chilean brothers to Denmark. USA is great, you know, for forever. Actually, my last experience in New York with the gallery is completely amazing.
That was
Completely.
in March of last year, right?
Yes,
Like right
it's
before the
too
pandemic.
crazy. Like a week before of pandemic, I returned 5 days before to pandemic.
And before the fucking borders were closed. You could have
Yes.
got trapped in Brooklyn for all
Yes.
you know, away from your family and kids.
Yes, crazy. I'm with my wife there, so
Are you
we
with-
are really like, what the fuck? Also, we try to change the ticket to 15, but I think so. If we do that, we are losing time.
Yeah, you would have got stuck there in
Yeah.
Brooklyn as I got stuck here in Peru at the beginning of last year. So yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, like I also really enjoyed painting for the museum in
Yes.
Amsterdam. They put me on an Airbnb boat, which
Yes.
is like, holy shit, I'm living in a boat. But you're already like in a few other museums around the world by now, right?
Yes, I put my work in some museums. Also, the last one is the Museum of Contemporary Art from Bogota.
Oh wow,
I do a solo show there, 2 floors for me.
2 floors.
Yes,
Ah man.
50 pieces, art pieces, 50, 50.
Oh, 50.
50. Sorry.
Okay, damn.
50.
50 pieces, 2 floors, Contemporary Museum of Bogota. Holy shit, dude, that's
Yes, sir.
huge.
That shit is the most important thing of my career. Because it's the
Amazing.
first museum, and also the museum take one piece for the collection. So
It just legitimizes you as an artist on the contemporary art scene, not just street art.
yes,
Totally, but you're in a lot of other street art, urban museums. Like you're in the graffiti museum in Miami,
in Miami also.
and you run the Peruvian Museum
Yes, sir.
of Urban Art, right?
Yes,
Tell me a little bit about that project.
I'm starting with that because the owner of this building tell me, yo, you got the keys, whatever you need is yours. I say, for real? Okay, perfect.
So that's in the neighborhood of Callao,
Yes.
which is a ghetto, rundown neighborhood.
It's a ghetto. Also, the most dangerous ghetto from Peru.
Right. And so the buildings are falling apart there.
Yes.
So there's some abandoned, beautiful buildings from back in the day when Peru was this beautiful colonial
Yes.
city, but by now they're in decadence. So the owner just said like, here's a building you can turn into a museum, something like that, right?
Yes, 2 floors. 2 floors full of poo of this shit. Full.
Damn.
You know? So we started cleaning all this shit, moved the beers for other places, you know, like, you know?
Okay.
All the techniques, because we try in the good way with some sounds and stuff like that, but we need the guns.
At the end, you had to shoot a couple down.
Yes.
Because they were just coming back into
Also
playing their house.
coming back every time, because the house is too big and I'm not living there, so it's completely difficult to clap every time to this shit move.
What,
you know?
what was there like open windows or open roof?
Yes, got a, what's it called? El hueco ese que tienen como de casa. ¿Cómo se llama eso?
Okay, the inside of a house sometimes just kind of like there's
Got
an
a hole.
inside patio,
Yes.
so that all the light would come in because these are buildings from back in the day where there was not even electricity and you
Yes.
needed natural light in middle of a house in order
It's
to.
not too old, but also this place is, in the past, is a bank.
Oh, it was a bank,
Yes, it's the London Bank.
the London Bank in Callao.
I don't know, but it's fucking crazy. But
Yeah, but it's classy and ornate and very.
yeah, it's got a fucking good building. So I started doing my studio. I prepared my art pieces to the Contemporary Art Museum, and when I done that part, I say, what happened with that building? Now I say, I call my friends and we do a museum. And the investor told me, what? You can do a museum? I say, for sure. Give me the money. I got the things. And we do the museum.
Nice. It's cool you had that backer that gave you a place and gave you the money to do this.
Yes. Yeah, really lucky about that. And we started, we sent invitation to many artists. Also, when the time over for this event of principal, people like you and other artists coming other times and got the opportunity to paint there, you know.
Right. Because it's not like a classic museum where there's walls and you put
Yes.
a painting on the wall. It's more like, hey, there's a wall, paint it.
Yes.
So all the paintings are on the actual walls, as urban art should be, right?
Yes. And the important thing with that is, in the end, I take it the wall off to conserve to our piece, you know.
Right. Because, but that's something you're going to do in the future, or is that something you've
I'm
always
starting with some now. I'm
Okay.
starting with some. In
Okay.
the first floor, I'm starting with some.
So I want to get into your art and what your art's about. But while we're talking about this technique that you're doing, so you've lately have had this technique where you almost like spray paint or paint a wall, and then you throw a bunch of plaster or epoxy, and then you rip the whole wall off, and then you have like a mural but all plastified that then you can move around.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about this.
In 2009, one artist here steel walls for us, for the movement, you know.
Somebody was stealing other people's
Yes.
walls. Okay.
Yes. With this technique.
In the same way people steal Banksy's walls, but
Yes,
instead of
it's
taking
the
all
same. It's the same exactly. The name of technique is strapo, but these guys change the strapo, the material of the strapo. So in that way, I say, okay, this guy started with that. I'm started doing a strapo of the chicha things, you know,
chicha posters.
chicha posters. So at the same time, I'm started doing stuff like that because I'm really interested in copy the wall in the canvas.
Right. To really truly bring that street art dirty
Yes.
vibe into it, right?
Because I'm really trust in the ugly things is completely beautiful. Piece of the ugly thing is completely beautiful. So I'm focusing that. In one time I say, okay, this guy steal the art of other artists. Why he got that? So I'm trying to steal my own work. So I say, I don't need a canvas. I need a wall. This is my life.
Right. Well, it seems like in the world of street art, when the street artists or murals go and do canvases, they're trying to replicate what's happening in an alleyway.
Yes, I don't like exactly that for me personal, no?
Right.
But-
It's not. I'm not going to call them fake, but once again, it's an imitation of something that's happening outside. While it seems like you're grabbing what's going outside and just ripping it off and bringing it in the inside.
It's completely, this thing obey exactly to when I 15 years, 16 years, something like that. I'm started going to abandoned places to practice graffiti. So I'm going to abandoned places to paint that and take off this part. The people never see that, you know. So I got the permission to take that and put it in the wall. Also, it's my own graffiti. I'm starting to improve with different cans. I'm starting to improve with papers, doing scratching, whatever, you know, like using markers, other things, no, the regular mural, the same thing of the street in the same thing on the gallery, you know.
Right.
And try to change my game too. You know?
Right. You're always experimenting with new mediums. I
Yes.
saw you were using oil paints in your studio today. Well, I've never seen you do before. You were doing some sculpture with clay.
Yes.
What other mediums have you been playing around with lately?
Also, we started to using new materials like polyurethane. polyurethane. This thing you mix A plus B, and that shit is crazy.
It's like a plastic?
It's something completely toxic, for sure. But we started with that, and we do what's it called? Gesso.
Okay.
Yes. We started with concrete. We started with resin. We started with what's it called? La luz neon.
Neon light fluorescent stuff.
Yes. Acrylic, oil. I'm studying art, so in my time of the school art, I'm trying to investigate too much. You know, I try to learn. My family don't show me the art in my life. When I got the opportunity to view a book of art, I'm down with all, you know, like a fucking nerd. All the breaks, I'm staying in the library, study, because I love art and try to find my way to be something, to God art, transcendent art. You know? This is the most important thing from my work.
Did you ever go to school for art, or are you self-taught?
I'm a study in the School of Art. The name is Corriente Alterna.
Oh yeah, that's kind of like the cool alternative kind of art school in Peru, right?
Yeah, I never can pay that, so these guys give me a scholarship.
Oh, cool. When was that?
2005.
2005.
This G called me and say, "Yo, you need a scholarship?" I said, "What? For real? You give me a scholarship? I am what?" And that shit happens.
Crazy. Because you
real.
were just painting in the streets and they recognized your talent.
Yes.
How many years did you study?
5 years
5 years. For free?
for free.
God damn. Yeah, man.
I'm a fucking nerd, bro.
I think
I don't look it like that, but I'm nerd.
I think you got really good karma, or like, you know, you're attracting abundance into your life.
I think so. The people got confidence about my work when I started, and now get confidence about what kind of person get out of his school, you know. So it's completely interesting when these people got me these kind of opportunities to study, to do myself better of the other times, you know.
Right. That's beautiful, man. You know, like, as a person who grew up in Lima, Peru, I left at 17 years old because I wanted to be an artist. And I didn't believe it was possible to live in Lima, to live in Peru and succeed from art. When you saw an artist when I was a kid, it was like the guys painting little canvases in Parque Kennedy, selling them for real cheap. That's the only artist I ever saw, and you're just like, wow, how am I gonna like make a living from art by living in Peru? So I go to Canada, where there's a better economy, better schools, etc. So when I came back and I learned about your art and I saw you succeed, it's like, wow, I could have stayed in Peru and figured out a way to succeed and to become abundant. So congratulations, first and
Thank you
foremost.
very much.
And
Thank you very much.
tell me a little bit about the business of your career. Like, you do many things. You paint murals. You got clients. You got products. Tell me a little bit about how you've been going and creating your success as an artist.
This thing started many years ago, but now this thing evolution, you know. I think so. The way of my father's give me the education in my house is completely different in other house. So when my father, when I got a kid, he told me every time, you need stay better of me in your life. Say like, tienes que ser mejor que yo.
Okay, you have to be better than me.
Yes.
You have to improve from what I've done. That's what
Yes,
your dad
every
did.
time. If you, whatever you do in your life, you know, I say, okay, perfect. So this is the idea in my mind, And when I started get a clients, when I started travel, learn what happened with this artist, what happened with this artist, what is the business with that? I questioned that guy. I say, yo, tell me the secret. Come on, yo, tell me the secret. So in this time, I say, okay, now I learn all these other opportunities in other countries and said and translate that to my country. Got a agency to show the clients what is the possibility in the publicity with the art on the
Right.
street.
I was asking you about that before because a couple years ago you came to my house. I think you were presenting me the opportunity of the museum or something, or having
And
a
the
show.
gallery too,
And the
remember?
gallery, you said like, hey, you should have a show in my gallery. It's like, okay, let's see how we can figure it out. But then you were telling me about sponsorships, like, oh yeah, this phone company not only gives me a phone, but pays me a certain amount of money, and this brand of clothing, and these shoes, and this, and it's like, holy shit, you got all these sponsors, and I'm like, well, I get some free shoes from Vans, but maybe a couple other people give me free things, but it's not the same as getting like money, which is what you get. And now you even have an agency where you're like, I don't want your free things. I want you to pay me for me to tell you how to make your brand cool. So that's
Yes.
what you're doing with your brand, right?
Yes.
What's your agency's name?
Entes.
Entes.
Entes Studio.
Entes Studio.
Yes.
So your latest client is Tres Cruces Beers.
Yes.
They come to you and they will say what? Like, hey, can you make us be all street cool? Like,
No. Also, these people come to sponsor me and say, it's not the only thing I can do with that. And explain the old shit, I say, yo, I got the opportunity to explain all the things, So, like, yo, I got a new business, so I can try to explain these people, and these people is in love. In the first time, I say,
Right.
I need that. I say, I got that, so we can do a work together. Also, we can do new ideas. Try to do a kindness in few months, something like that. This is the idea to that.
so it's kind of like a marketing company in a way.
Yes, something like that.
Right.
Like
But with
a
art
marketing.
and street culture.
Yes, and design, animation, many things. I got all the supports to show the client, yo, I got that. It's all my word now. You choose what you need.
Right. Well, there's so many brands come in and they want to be down with the client, down with the streets, but they're not street people. They're business people who are creating a product. And it's good when they think that they'll throw some six packs at us, and then we're like, okay, we own these artists, and so thus you guys should like us. But I liked how you stood up. It's like, no, I don't want your shit. I want you to pay me to tell you
Yes.
how to do this thing properly.
Yes.
So that's a lot
This is the
smarter.
reason, because sometimes the artists don't see the way to organize it and present the idea, because some people think the same of me, of you, and the people don't got the marketing things to do that, So PDF, a designer to do that, the good way to show the client
A
what happened.
professional looking presentation.
Yes, sir.
Because you're telling them like, okay, meet with me, let me explain you how this goes, and you go in full on like showing them.
Yes, I working with some persons here, and with my team, we organized that. I say, okay, perfect, we can do that. We see what happened with the other agencies of publicity here. I say, what is the difference of these people and me? They're only the clients, because I got good ideas too. So
Right. Plus, your
Why
ideas
not?
are closer to the people
Yes,
than
sir.
some person who went to university and never really got in with the people who you're trying to sell to.
Also, the companies, like the agencies, got a part of the cake of your price with the company. So I say, why? Why these people got my money for the contact? Only the contact? Fuck that. I got that shit. When I got opportunity, I did, okay, I don't need free things. I don't need a less pay for sponsorship. I need show you what happened in the street.
Right. So you're kind of like almost like a street culture educator in a way. You remind me of my friend Barry in that way. You know,
Yes.
he's like an art director. They come to him as the cool skater, and he's like, "Well, I got a million ideas I could sell you if you just give me a chance." But we're all kind of like ghetto youth kind of characters, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna put our, chips to these kind of characters." So yeah, I think that's really great what you've done with your business side of things. But now tell me, what's your art about? You know, when you're doing these paintings, these murals, what's your topics of expression?
I try to talk straight about the life in Lima, cause it's my word actually. So I try to talk about my past, my life. Try to talk about be a brown person in white world, and what the difference of the opportunities got the other persons and me. I try to talk um, the position of the people studying a good college and the public college. I'm started there, so I know very well what happened with that. Now I try to talking about the new social movement in Peru about the last 1 month or 2 months ago, when this shit started here, like Wake Up Peru, with the President Merino. We kick off in 6 days, and we lost 2 persons, Inti and Jack Pintado. So we are really present. We do many of banderolas. We do posters. We do many drawings to that way, to that.
To educate the people
Yes.
or what's happening politically. So your
Yes.
art's quite political then.
Yes, it's completely political now. I changed the position when I'm stay working alone. I say, okay, I return to my time of the school when I do art school. I say, this thing stay stopping when I get back. I'm done the art school. I say, okay, I'm working with other person. We paint graffiti. We focus in that, but my art education stays stuck there. When I return to that, I'm starting to investigate in new materials, new concepts, new all the twist, all the situation to this kind of new space, new shits to do in art, like political things, talking about the jails here. Also this art piece talking about the knife of the jail. So the people,
I want to ask you
street.
something because you were telling me, you said that your art is about the experience of being brown in a white world. So a lot of your paintings are about like the black culture because you got black blood in
Yes.
you, right? Do you
Yes.
consider yourself black? Or,
Yes, half black.
Okay, half black from like what, the south of Lima, like or like just general?
My mother, the family of my mother is black.
But is Peru the white world too? Like, because it's mostly brown people, right? Or is
Yeah,
it
yes.
or is
but
it still ruled by the
I,
white?
I talking about the power persons in the world, you know, not only Peru. Also in Peru, the power people is white, you know.
But you're talking more about Peru being a brown country in the world of the white.
Yes. When I travel, I feel that also in the airports and got many problems for my skin
Right.
or for tattoos, something like that. You know?
Right. You experienced a lot of racism.
Yes. Like in Miami, many times.
Really?
I tried to fly to Fort Lauderdale.
Lauderdale?
No, to try to never stay in Miami in the airport because many problems there.
Oh, really? So people are
Yes.
more racist to you in the Miami airport than the Fort
Yes.
Lauderdale airport.
Yes.
Why?
I don't know.
Wow.
Yo,
Weird.
I'm
Because
staying
you would
like
think the Miami
5
airport
hours.
is a lot more Latino, and they're used to
Yes,
Latinos
also
being
there. Also, I can speak Spanish there,
Right.
but I don't know why the people is a bit racist. You know, for me it's like disgusting. I don't like it. I'm started the last time when I'm staying in Miami. I'm stay 5 hours in the airport. 5 hours. I'm lose my mind
Why?
for art piece.
For an art piece. They were not letting you have the art
Yes.
piece. Why? Because they thought maybe there's drugs in it because you're coming from Peru.
Yes, I don't. The piece. I think so. The people think I got cocaine in my art piece.
Right.
You know.
Well,
But in the end, I say, yo, whatever, take it. I don't care about that. I'm the artist. I can do thousands of this shit.
right.
I don't care.
Well, I'm not gonna say that they're not being racist or whatever. I wasn't there and I don't know what the situation was, but I do remember that when I was traveling with my Peruvian passport, even though I got less dark pigmentation, I was also being taken to a room, being like, "All right, where's the cocaine? You're
Yes.
coming from Peru, and you're kind
Where
of
is the cocaine?
right." It's like
Straight.
so maybe it's not like so much a skin tone color, but more of a thing that we come from a cocaine country.
Also, in end, I discover is the thing with the red passport.
Oh yeah.
Yes, because all the Andina zone here got the red passport.
Ooh, it's almost like your red flag. Huh?
Yes.
Hey, red passport means careful with these
Yes.
countries. Damn. That's
Yo, it's really weird, but I don't know what happens exactly, you know.
That's very interesting. So you got this political message in your art, and would you say you mostly are a muralist or a street artist? Are you?
For me, I paint graffiti.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I like it because the other positions is good, but it's only a position.
But
It's like don't got statement about that, you know. For
But-
me, it's like what is the foundation about different names for the same thing? You paint with the spray cans and latex too. Also, the graffiti writers do that, and it's a really beef. You don't paint graffiti, you don't paint trains, you don't paint in the street, and the other, you don't paint murals. I say, why? Why the people this
fighting.
fighting for nothing?
You think that the beef between graffiti and street art is bullshit?
It's bullshit.
Yeah, what's up? Like, it seems like the anger is mostly from graffiti towards street art, even though there's a snobism from the street art world towards the graffiti. It's like, oh yeah, you're old school. That doesn't
Yes.
matter. I'll paint over your graffiti. It's just garbage. And meanwhile, the graffiti people, we were here first. We create this culture, and you just come here and disregard us as if we're nothing.
Also, this is the point to started investigate other things, other materials. Cause I say, okay, I'm painting graffiti, but I try to evolution to the street art. You know, I say, what is the mix with that? I say, okay, I'm a study art. And when I study, I got a course about the other materials, not only canvas, not only oil, acrylic, oil, marble, other things to do in the classic art. So it's more contemporary education for me, and this is I be curious to do other things. It's the same thing to the graffiti writers. It's the same thing for the street artists to do other things and evolution the way of the graffiti and the street art also.
Yeah, you gotta keep on evolving.
Mixing.
Mix it up, not just be like, we're this, and if we're not this, it's like, it's the same problem in the world where like, I'm this race, I'm this culture, and nothing
Yes.
shall change it, or you're white and you shouldn't have that hairstyle, like everybody should just stick to their own. So that's why I'm just like, come on, street art and graffiti, what's with this fight? We're all the same thing, we're all
Yes.
doing stuff in the streets, just everybody respect each other, everybody has a spot, and let's all just have fucking fun.
Yes, it's for me it's the same. We need fun in the street, you know. This
Right.
is the foundation, the street, pain in the street. The other thing is other things, you know. The street is other game for me, but I respect completely other ways to paint and do create art, you know.
Right.
So I think so the people need to learn a little bit more. The graffiti writers try to investigate a little bit more, but it's my opinion. No, I don't say, yo, I got the way for you are better.
Right.
It's my point of the view, you know.
Right. Well, graffiti seems like it's about breaking the law. So as soon as you tell them the rule, they want to break it. But in general, I think the street rule should be, if somebody painted something really nice, just leave it alone, tag somewhere else, white bomb over it. Like, do you really gotta write somebody else's mural in order to get your visibility?
Yeah, I think so. That shit is try to take some lights, you know.
Yeah, some attention and exposure through
Yes.
somebody else's work. And that's a whack way
Yes,
to kind of like,
whack way.
yeah, make your
Whack.
fame.
But also about the break laws is the same. Why the street artists tell finish paint a canvas? What you do investigating other things and do a strapo and take your walls.
Right, you know, every person can do their own thing, and it shouldn't be like. But some people will say like it's not graffiti unless it's illegal.
Yes.
So
For me, it's the same. For me, it's the same. It's illegal and no more. But now the times change, the situation changed too.
you evolve. We get older too. We
Yes.
don't want to go to jail for painting a wall.
Almost 40. You got 40. So why try to looking back? You know.
Right, you gotta keep on switching it up. So, do you have some opinions about street art in general? Like before, you're telling me you're making comparisons between the world of contemporary art and the world of street art.
Yes, I think so. I got this idea of the movement really straight.
Which has become so popular in the last
Yes.
few years. Since what? Exit through
It's
the gates.
only popular. Popular is Banksy, not the street art. You know, JR is popular. Os Genius is popular. But the other artists, or the whole movement got likes in Instagram. But likes in Instagram got money for you?
Yeah.
No, no, every time.
Popularity doesn't pay the bills.
Yes, sir. So this is the problem for me. I never think so. We paint to likes in Instagram. We paint in the street for we like, and in the end, when it's a profession, we try to do money with that. And the ways go to the gallery, or you choose your own gallery, roll your own gallery, and do your work. And for nothing of that, we need Instagram. I know people sell art for $100,000, got 100 followers. In Instagram, it's completely ridiculous.
Right. Well, it's interesting your perspective and your point of view, because I got some friends who say we don't need the galleries anymore because now we got Instagram, we got social media, and I can find my clients and I can sell enough canvases from just showing it on social media. We don't need the system anymore. But you're telling me like Instagram is fleeting. It could be popular today, but then tomorrow
Yes.
TikTok comes and no more art sales.
This is the thing.
Right.
It's completely fake. Because for me, it's like we don't need nothing. Like no galleries, no nothing. But for me, it's important because I'm trying to put my work in the museum. So I need to align to do that.
Right.
If you stay in the street and you need only put your work in the gallery, okay, do your line, you know. If for the gallery of a street art, you need likes in Instagram. For the art movement, you need good work.
Right. Or good connections.
For me, it's good work because I don't got the good connections to do that.
I think you got better connections than me, but
Yeah, but here, knowing the word, you know, so
well, I think us artists, we want to be immortal to some way. Like we want to die and know that our work lives on past what we lived. You know?
I got two examples to contrast that, like Picasso and Dali.
Right.
The most important artist living his millions. So I got many also, but this is the most recognized artist in the world also.
Right. They still live, they still sell art, but they've been long dead.
Yes. Also, I think so, Dali life like 80 años.
80 years
80
old.
years old, something like that.
Yeah.
Picasso too. I don't remember exactly the numbers, but this guy got many fame, and also Basquiat, he died in $5,000 for real.
Like $5,000.
Yeah, it's like a bet of $5,000.
Oh, $5,000
$5,000
bills.
exactly
Italian?
there.
Oh,
Yes.
that's kind of weird.
I don't know. This guy is really crazy.
It's a way to
Too
go.
many crack for me.
Right. Yeah. For me, I guess the end goal of life is not like how much money I made, but what hearts I touched. So I would probably just lie there with my loved ones or whatever, more than just a bunch of paper.
Yes.
But to each their own. But I guess the point I was making is we want to be remembered. And when I ask my gallery friends, like, hey, how can I become part of art history? It's like, well, that's cool that you're cool on social media and that a lot of people like your art. Like the reason why you're good on social media is because you touch people's hearts and they resonate. So that's good that you're in touch with your public. But you also got to be down with the system. Because if you don't get into big galleries, then you'll never be good enough or admitted into the museums. And it's the museums who will show your art for hundreds of years and be, this artist was important and you should continue looking at his art, and etc. But I don't like working with the galleries so much. I don't like how they take 50%. I don't even know how to be cool enough for them.
I don't do anything about that. I'm a hater for real. So I don't try to do nothing about that. But I think so my way to try to put my art in museums is do a stronger art, to interesting art, also political art, like try to tell about what happened in this area,
Right.
for go to the next step to tell the people, yo, Joan Jimenez Entes is a most important artist of this area,
Telling us a certain story.
Yes.
So talking about stories, let's go back to those riots that just happened a couple of months ago here in Peru. This president, the president that was in charge got knocked off. A new president was placed by corrupt politicians. Everyone knew he was a thief that was ready to steal, and the whole Peruvian youth and population came up to protest in the streets.
Yes.
Which then turned into police shooting at people. You told me today.
Yes.
Those two kids that got murdered were shot with marbles.
Yes.
That's crazy.
That's fucking crazy.
One of his hearts exploded or something?
Yes, Inti hearts exploded.
Holy fuck, man.
Yo, that's is sad. So we got here like wake up Peru, you know, like we finally we wake up all of this corruption touched us for many years ago, like 20, maybe 30, something like that. So in the end, we kick off this fake president in 6 days. That shit never happens in the world. I think so, personally. We win, but we lose because we wait for the next election. It's in April, right? So in the end, the same garbage stay in the election. Keiko, Forsyth, all these other guys.
All the corrupt politicians that put
Stay.
that corrupt president who then had to renounce because people were dying in the streets.
Yes.
But in the next election, it's the same corrupt politicians and nobody to choose from.
I hope so. We learn with this wake up, but I don't know. Never know what happened with the Peruvian. He lost his mind very fast, and he
forgets.
forget.
But the youth woke up. Was it the youth that woke up?
I don't understand.
The
Sorry.
youth, the young people, because it was
Yes.
like the Bicentenario generation.
Yes, I hate that name, but because Bicentenario remembers me like oppression, esclavos, and all this shit. I don't like it.
Yeah, so for
Yeah.
200 years you've been tortured, and that's the generation.
I think so. This generation is the wake up generation. Is like youngest people get out the street. Also, the face of the protest is a girl of 33 years old.
Who was she?
No, it's like in the investigate. We got more girls of this age in the.
Okay, so the average protester was girls in their 30s.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes, it's completely amazing. For
In
me,
a
it's like-
country where men are always dominating everything.
yes.
Awesome.
That's completely awesome. For me, it's like I'm really happy this kind of thing happens because for in the end, the youngest people try to take the control of the planet, you know, and these people stay in the Instagram, stay in Facebook, other things, and use that shit to switch the fake news in the television, you know, so.
Right. People are using social media to communicate what really is happening as opposed to the bullshit that they put on TV to tell us what's
Yes,
going on.
here is completely political
Propaganda.
interest and propaganda, you know.
But it's the same in North America.
yeah, it's the same in wherever place, you know.
But I think
Also in Cuba.
well, everywhere, I guess. But I guess right now the problem in North America, or especially the United States, is that you got two sides. You got the very left side, CNN, and the very right side, Fox, and each is saying opposite points of views. So people are either confused or they stick to each side and then they fight each other. Well, in Peru, I guess the mediums are saying one thing, but everybody says like, oh yeah, that's bullshit. So we're all going to the other side and trying to fucking go against that.
Yes, here is like only the right got the power of the television. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no problem. Your wife.
No, es lo digo en español, güey. Estaba pintando un mural y con una blogger que es famosa y íbamos a hacer como un fake de que ella me ayudaba y bla, 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 pero ella está en otra y yo ahorita estoy acá, así que esto es más importante que eso para mí.
Bueno, ya vamos terminando.
No, no te preocupes, ya fue. Mañana voy a estar con ella.
Well, I think it's beautiful when art and the people can come together and spread the good word of what we have to do to liberate ourselves from the corruption that reigns Peru and the world. It's just been too long that negativity has been dominating us. Do you have some hope for Peru?
Yes, for sure. We got all the shit the world needs, like food, good earth, lakes, sea, like wherever.
We got all the resources.
All the things. So for sure we stay thinking about the hope of the future for my kids, for all the families, But political things is weird. We don't know what happened in 30 years, I don't know what happened next year as well. So it's really confused to try to support my work here. This is the reason because I'm trying to travel and try to put my art in other countries, and this give me support because the elite of the art is really weird, and not many brown peoples and black persons stay in this elite. So it's completely difficult to get in
Right.
this.
Climb economically.
Yes, sir.
In Peru and in the world, really.
Yeah, in all the world, in Peru also, and in the world too.
Right. But now we're in the years of COVID. How long do you think this process of evolution and transmutation will last for us to wake up truly?
I think so. We got, I don't know, 2 years more. I hope so. It's only 2 years, but this should change every year. Like now we got COVID 2012. So
21.
yes, now 21. So I don't know what happened exactly, but I hope so. In 2012 we can move more.
2021.
2022.
22. Okay.
Yes, I hope so. In 2022 we got more facilities to travel, to move, to do the back life,
Right, go back to our life of freedom.
Yes.
And hopefully nature has healed, or that we're ready to work with nature in a less destructive way.
The people don't understand what happened with the nature now, with these months locked down in the houses, the air clean, a little bit of this shit for every years, So I think so. For me, if Peru take the decision, lock down, I say, okay, perfect, because the nature need that. And
It needs a break.
yes, need the break of the human, the more ugly thing in the world, because it's really weird, right? We come to here to kill animals and vegetables. It's really weird if you think about that.
We take everything.
Yes, we take everything and never get back something.
Right. Well, let's keep on learning how to take less and give more.
Yes.
And grow in this process of quarantines and restrictions, and hope for the best. And may we go back to our lives of art and freedom and expression and good vibes. Do you have some final words of wisdom for the viewers of this show, for young artists? Do you have some message you'd like to share?
Do yourself. Never try to do other person. Try to do your thing. No, try to copy other things. Try to see everyone, wherever. But with this, learn split yourself. It's the only thing I do, and this is my way, and I hope so help somebody.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much, Juan.
Thank you,
Entes,
brother.
mi hermanito,
Yes,
gracias
sir.
por estar in the show. And thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this interview, please like, share, comment, and yeah, let's keep on spreading these awesome artists we have here. I'll see you next week. See you later. Today, my great guest of honor is Mickey Gonzalez.
because I wasn't young. I was 33 when I did my first record, my first album.
Right.
So success got to me in a different way, and I was really angry at the press because I had already been to El Carmen. I had already been in contact with this rural Afro-Peruvian town, all this culture that was not even in the mainstream. It was like, I felt I was Alan Lomax recording Robert Johnson. That's how I felt when I was in El Carmen. Still, even now, there are things that I hadn't heard that's not like from the slaves, but is like this tradition, Afro-Peruvian tradition, super roots. And so I was really mad at the press people when they were asking me things and very light and superficial, stupid stuff. And I had been doing like really serious cultural
exchanges.
Right.
So make sure to subscribe, like, and everything else. Big thanks and see you next week. Peace.